Yep, it said 10 a.m.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. I'm going to wait a minute or two to see if anybody wants to hang out. We are going to, this morning, work on core and hips. We're probably going to do a little bit of strengthening in the core lumbopevic hip complex, and then a little bit of lengthening before the strengthening. Cool? So, if you want to, feel free to get a brick or pillows or whatever you think you might need to support either knees, thighs, hips. I don't know if we're going to go into swan, Ekapada Raja, or not swan, pigeon. Swan is yin yoga. Pigeon is this one. But we'll figure it out. So get any props that you need and then find yourself lying down on your back, getting comfy. And I'm going to take off my glasses and get comfy too.
Well, tell them to let me know if they have any questions.
Oh, thanks. Also, I have my partner in crime in the next room. He is here to take any feedback. If somebody doesn't feel good or if you have a question about what we're doing, message. Write it via Insta, or you can actually message through YouTube. Can you see the YouTube stuff?
Yes.
All right, we're cool. So honestly, it helps me immensely, and I think it makes the class a lot more fun for everybody and a little richer if I get some feedback, if you're willing to give me any, regarding what you want, what you need, because I can always change. That's what I do. So, lying down. So get yourself comfy lying down. I know when I lie down, I usually have to wiggle and get my shoulders just right. Itch my ear. Reach the legs long if you want to. If your back is tender today, you're going to bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Right? Knees touching, feet wider than your hips. Really nice for that lower back. And then inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth a few times. One more time, inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And then take a moment to scan your body. Just kind of feeling what it's up to this morning, connecting that mind-body so we're aware. So give yourself a little bit of a scan for physical sensation, emotional, where some tension might be, where some attention needs to be put. And when you've scanned your body, become aware of just the sensation of your breath. Either that cool air as you inhale, warm, moist air as you exhale, or the rise and fall of the ribs, the belly. So we're not trying to change anything about the breath, we're just being an observer. If you're hearing splattering and rain in the background, that's because it's rain, nothing else. On the next inhale, bend both knees, place your feet on the floor. And here's what I want you to do. You're going to grab this right knee behind, or interlace behind the right thigh, and draw the knee to the left shoulder. My knee, my leg is bent. Okay? And what I'm looking for is a little sensation on the outside of that glute, playing with a little bit of sciatic. You've got sciatic. This is a nice stretch. And then from here, you're going to straighten the left leg. I've still got this knee pulled up, right? I'm just going to roll it to my side. So I'm on my side, completely on my left side. Right leg is bent, and I'm using my arm as a crook to pull that knee up. With my right hand, and with your right hand, you're going to take that hip and draw it down as you bring the knee up towards you. You should feel halfway decent if it doesn't get out of it. So release this right hand and draw the right shoulder to the ground. Nice thoracic stretch as you get a stretch on the outside of the right leg. A couple more breaths. One more good breath. To get out of this, bend the left knee. Release the right knee, stack them on top of each other, and come back to center. Take that left hand, or left leg, bend it, hands come behind the thigh, and whoosh. Left knee, right shoulder. Just a nice, easy pull. Right, you're gonna feel this right through here, right through the bum. And then straightening your right leg, you're gonna roll onto that right side, okay? And I'm using my right hand as a crook to pull my right knee, or crook to pull my left knee towards my right shoulder. My left hand now, I want your left hand to pull that hip down. If it just doesn't feel good, don't do it. But it's a little bit of a traction as you pull the knee up. Just a few breaths here before we start to open that chest. Any discomfort, back up. So, releasing that hand, reach the left arm out and pull that left shoulder to the ground as you keep this left knee pulling towards the right shoulder. Don't go anywhere yet, team. One more good breath. Now, bend the right knee, put the left knee on top of it, and come to your tabletop. In your tabletop, take your big toes together, knees wide, and take the hips back to the heel. And then see if you can take the knees even wider. Okay, so I want a nice inner thigh, a little pull on that inner thigh. Reach the arms out in front of you if it feels good, and bring the forehead down to the floor. So my intention here is to get the inner thigh or your adductors stretching. Just a few breaths. And if you want to juice this up, lift your head for a sec, spread your fingertips apart, and really imagine you're a gecko glued onto the mat, and then feel yourself pull the mat away from you as your hips draw back, and you drop the pelvis towards the floor. Couple of breaths. In this pose, walk your torso and your hands to your right. Okay, arms can relax, but I want you to feel that left cheek sitting down on that left heel. So a little more length in that groin area, that inner thigh. Relax. A couple of breaths. So as you can tell, I'm not really invested in reaching through my arms. I'm more focused on the sensation on that inner thigh. I want you to lift your head, inhale, center, exhale. We're gonna walk over to the left. Feel this feel that right hip drop down onto the heel and enjoy the stretch. Nothing too saucy. And again, if you want to, you can traction, or you can just let the upper body rest for a few breaths. Lift the head, come back to center. Lift yourself up, slowly bring the knees back to center. Come into a tabletop. Bring your hands a little in front of the shoulders, fingertips spread wide. Arms and hands can be as wide as or wider than your shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Bend the left knee, take the right heel to the ground, and then pull the hip creases back. And then switch sides. And switch one more time. One more time switching. Nice. And then on an inhale, bend that right knee. Exhale, right leg comes into a low lunge. Place the left knee down. Okay? You're going to walk this right foot. Actually, you're going to externally rotate. So I'm up on my heel. Turn that right foot out 45 degrees. And then let yourself just kind of sink. Okay, hands are on the inside of that right thigh. Okay, and release. So I'm really letting my hips drop. And in letting my hips drop, I'm again getting into my adductors a bit. This right heel of yours should stay down. It's really easy to want to come so far forward that you lift the heel, and that's not where we're at right now. So just stay here. Long spine, right? Breathe. Press the left toenails into the ground. And then what happens if, even though you're in this pose, think about lifting the pubic bone to the belly button and then pause. Three more breaths. Palm the floor. Tuck the left toes under. Inhale, lift the thigh. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg prepares. Exhale, left leg's going to step into that low lunge. Right knee to the floor, tops of the right toes to the floor. Lift the toes so you're on the heel. Turn that foot 45-degree angle. And then come into that gecko-y, dragon-y lunge. Press the back toenails, even that little toenail into the floor, okay? Let the body weight drop a little bit, but continue to lift that pubic bone towards the belly button, maintaining the integrity of the pose, and breathe. Again, don't let that heel come up off the floor. Stay here. Pull the belly in. 2 more breaths. Nice. Now palm the floor. Tuck the back toes under. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, flow. Okay, so I want us to become aware of some core muscles that we're going to use while we play with our hips. So on an inhale, shift to a plank, come onto your forearms, and then come all the way onto your belly. With the toes, keep the toes tucked under, press into the forearms so you are up out of your shoulder girdle. lift your thighs. So the only thing really on the floor is my pubic bone for the most part. And then imagine there's an ice cube just below your belly button, and pull up from that ice cube. So here you are in a nice plank, right? So hips aren't too high, you're not a dead snake in the road, right? Pull the belly button in, and then we're gonna seesaw back and forth. Keep that belly nice and taut. A couple of times. So feel that whole girdle around the back into the belly, right? So this is what we want to use to stabilize today. Keep it rolling. Back and forth. 2 more. Last one. Cool. Come down. From here, lie on your back. All right. Bring your knees up. Pull your belly down so your core or your spine is in neutral. Your fingertips are going to come onto your hips. And I want you to be aware if there is any movement. That's why your fingertips are here. So as you come down and then switch, you should not feel your hip shift. All right? So you can actually, so fingertips on the hips. Pull the ribs in, spine towards the ground. Knees over, hips. Last thing, shins parallel to the floor. You ready? Take your left foot. So you're going to move from the thigh, tap the toe, come back up. Switch sides. Don't let anything change. Yep. So you're going to feel this whole girdle holding you in. Okay? So keep tapping. Keep neutral. Right? Go anywhere yet. So now, ha, make that noise, ha, and then drop down, come up, ha, drop down, come up. So that ha is really what's firing up or helping us fire up that inner abdominal pressure, which is fabulous. A couple more. Feel free to ha anytime you want to refire. So remember, you're moving from your thigh up the knee. One more each side. Cool. Take the knees towards you, roll yourself up, come into a tabletop, right? And then come to your down dog. So now you are perfectly aware of how your core is, and we just started opening up the hips, so we're going to go a little bit deeper. On an inhale, your right leg prepares, and as you exhale, right leg comes into a low lunge, right? You're going to drop that left knee, left toenails, bring yourself up, feel that entire core fire, right? And as the core fires, let yourself dip forward. So you're not disconnecting. This whole thing is going on, right? I've got a little bit of something going on in the inner thigh, so I'm not going to go as deep, but you all can go as deep as you want. However, I'd like you to stay with your chest lifted for just a few breaths. Press into the back toenails, right? So you can feel this a little bit more going on in the hip flexor, the front of the left thigh. Reach your left arm up. Pull the belly button in. Try a again. Remember, you are welcome to go deeper than I am. 2 more breaths. Keep that core. Fire up the glutes. Back toenails. 1 more good breath, please. Exhale, hands come down. Down dog. Inhale, left knee prepares. Exhale, left knee, low lunge. Boop. Right foot on the floor, right knee on the floor, right toenails on the floor. Come on up. So become aware if you're connected. So what's your belly doing? All sorts of things, right? So feel that whole girdle firing. Press the back toenails into the ground, right? And as you stay upright, feel free to come a bit deeper into the lunge, but without letting go, right? So really feel that powerful core. As you press the toenails of the back foot into the floor, notice how you can kind of juice up the front of the right thigh, and then lift that right arm. Hold that core in, firing up. Stay here. Nice stretch. Couple more breaths. Don't lose that pulling in and that firing of that core, that inner abdominal pressure that's going to keep us nice and happy and safe. One more good breath. Exhale, hands come down on either side of the foot. Tuck that right foot under. Inhale, plank. Exhale, go through that flow. Pause. One good breath here. Hip creases back. On an inhale, right leg prepares. Exhale, right leg low lunge. And then I just want you to come up to a warrior two. Okay, so here we are. Press into that back foot and feel the spine lift, right? And then from here, come into traditional arms. I want you to think as we're here, okay, play with the depth of the lunge without that knee going past the second and third toes. And then think about lengthening through the inner thigh and then pulling that back whoosh, through the outer thigh, right? Fire up the core, hang out. It's a really nice sensation in that inner thigh again. Is your core engaged? Don't go anywhere yet. So feel that whole body bracing. Lengthen inner thigh, pull back outer thigh. Lengthen, pull back. One more good breath. Take a look down, exhale, hands down on either side of that right foot. Gently down dog. Inhale, left leg prepares. Exhale, your left leg steps in the low lunge. Excuse me, and then we come up to warrior two feet. So I really want to establish that base. Press into the outside of the back foot. Find the depth in this thigh without bringing it too far forward, without letting the heel come up. Okay? Excuse me, lengthen through the spine. And then again, you're going to think about reaching this whole inner thigh towards the front of your knee, and then wrap it around the back. Okay? Arms, breathe. So once again, that adductor, that inner thigh muscle, nice and happy. Use that core to maintain stability and integrity. Relax your shoulders. One or two more breaths. Maybe three, who knows? Lengthen and wrap. One more breath. Nice. Exhale, hands down on either side of that foot. Nice. Inhale, plank, go through your foot. Walk your hands towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. So walk your hands towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. Back of your mat. Grab any prop you need to so that you can comfortably straighten your knees as best you can. If this isn't an option for you, that's okay. I would like you preferably to be able to balance on one foot. So here's what we're going to do. My right foot is the outside leg to you all. So standing on your right foot, lift the left leg off the ground. Okay, and lift the chest halfway. So here we are. We're a little bit in a modified funky warrior three. And we're going to do circles with our knees in this here warrior three funky pose. So without rounding my back, all right, so back stays stable. Left knee comes towards you. open up, and around. So basically with the kneecap, you're drawing a circle, but back and hips aren't moving. Your core needs to be really solid. So we're not shifting, we're just moving that bone in the hip socket. And this right leg glute should be firing to stabilize. Keep circling, use that core. That core is what's keeping the pelvis pot solid. So remember, ha! One more good one. Ooh, that was a bad one. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up again. Left leg is your balance, right knee bends. Okay, so find your strength. Feel the core. And then, on your own terms, right? Big, huge circles if you can stabilize. Smaller circle, right? So you want to stay in that stability zone. So we're teaching our muscles to move correctly instead of going bold or firing properly. So the size of the circle needs to be only as big as what your stabilizers can handle. Plus, think about it. Nobody really can see you, so go for it. Use that core to really stabilize. A little bit of struggle goes a long way. Couple more breaths. Nice. Exhale, release. Woohoo! Inhale, halfway up. Walk your hands to the front of the mat again. Here you are in your down dog. On an inhale, prepare your right leg. Exhale. Right leg's going to step into that low lunge. Come on up, Vera 2. Right, and this time, straighten that leg. I'm going to use a prop because I can. So get a prop if you need it. We're going to come into triangle and Trikonasana. And I want this whole side body long and the sensation on both the inner thigh and a little bit on that outside of the body. So left hand is going to be on your left hip. Right hip is going to drop back. And in drawing back, what we're doing is we're actually letting that hip whoosh, slide a bit over that leg bone. And then come forward, right. And then find where you have a good sensation. Press into the front foot's heel, right? Lengthen the ribs away from the hip. Press to the outside of the foot and then rotate open. This left arm of yours can be up. If you really want to get some side body juice out of it, reach that arm so your bicep is right next to your ear. Breathe. Find that. So that is what's keeping us solid, right? And this is a great way for the inner thigh to open, which will help us play with our hips. Couple more breaths. Find yourself feeling like you're smushed between two pieces of glass. Or as I always put it, that slide and cover slip, you're that amoeba. One more breath. Nice. Inhale back to Virabhadrasana 2. If you have a prop, move it to the opposite side of your foot or the mat. Exhale, hands down on either side of the foot. Step to your down dog, please. On your inhale, your left leg prepares, and as we exhale, left leg steps into a low lunge. Get the brick, peanut butter, whatever you need as your prop, and then come up to those Virabhadrasana 2 feet. Right, we're starting with feet. Again, so think about this inner thigh reaching, draw the hip back, and then straighten the leg. Feel the weight of that front foot towards the heel. Pop that left hip back. Left arm is going to reach. And then rotate, remembering you're that amoeba, right? And to flatten yourself out, fire up that girdle. It's all about the girdle. Fingertips on a brick, on your leg. Wherever you are, though, I want ribs away from hips. When you start to think too much depth, you start to collapse into this side, and you really lose what we really want out of this. So remember, don't shove your body into the pose, right? Let your pose just kind of become organic. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's pose is going to be different. So this right arm can reach up or over. Find that, right? Left hip draws back. Do not hurt. Really imperative that you fire up the core to protect the back. Be your inner amoeba. Which makes me think of mitochondria. So be your powerhouse. Couple of breaths. Nice. Hip length. I know, Oscar. One more good breath. Inhale, come back to Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, hands down on either side of the foot. Inhale to your plank. Pause in your plank. I have to move my goodies. There we go. So playing with both hip and core. Here we are in plank. Lift that right leg up. Hold the belly button and take the right knee to the right elbow. Step back to plank. Left knee, left elbow. So again, I'm not moving my body. I'm keeping the spine long. Okay? So play with it. Pubic bone keeps tucking in towards that belly button. Don't go anywhere yet. Pull it up from the belly button. Couple more. Boom, boom. Come onto your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back up. Down dog. Pause. On an inhale, your left leg is going to prepare. And as you exhale, left leg steps in a low lunge. Right knee is going to come down. I know I did left before, right? Hands are going to come up on the thigh. Lift up again. Okay, so option 1. Option 2, bring the arms to the inside of this leg. We're not turned out, right? And if you have the length in the hips, come onto your forearms. All right, if you want to, lift that back thigh. All right, so here we are, nice long spine. And as you are here, try to tuck the left knee into the right arm. Or excuse me, left arm. So I'm shoving my knee into my arm, lengthening the spine, pulling the belly in. All right? Really juice that sucker up and press into the front heel, or the heel of the front foot, excuse me. A couple of breaths. And remember, if you can go down on your forearms, go for it. If you need to have that back knee down, fabulous. Find what's right for your body right now. Remember, don't shove your body into the pose. 2 more breaths. Take that left hand to the outside of the left foot. Step back. Now, inhale, right leg prepares. Exhale, right leg comes into that low lunge. So the knee and the is hip width apart. Take the back leg down first onto the knee. Take both hands to the inside of the right foot. And if you want to, come onto your forearms. It's not something I'm really into right now. If you want to, tuck that left leg under, lift the thigh. And then again, this right knee comes into my shoulders. Lengthen. Weight is towards that right heel. Good boy, Oscar. Long, lean spine. Pull in the knee. Breathe. Core hanging out. So we're focusing on that weight in the legs, not so much the arms. Couple more breaths. Nice. Take that right hand to the outside of the right foot. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, floor down dog. Pause here. From here, playing a little bit more with our core and our hips. All right, so lift the right leg. Shift forward to a plank, right knee, right tricep. Come back, three-legged dog, so right leg reaches up. Right knee, left tricep, bit of a rotate. Come back. So right to right, three-legged dog. Right to left, three-legged dog. You can do about 3 or 4 more reps. Use that core, no pain. One more each side, because we got to do the other leg. Take the right foot back down. Adjust anything you need as far as hands and feet. On an inhale, bend that left knee. Right? Exhale, prepare. Inhale, left knee, left tricep. Reach back to that three-legged dog. Left leg stays hovering. Inhale, left knee right. Come back. Right? Left to left. Three-legged dog. Left to right. Three-legged dog. About 4 more. Your pace. How about 1 more? Nice. Nice. Inhale. Exhale, both feet down. Inhale, come way up on your knees. Bend the knees. Child's pose. Water break. Wrist break. Couple more breaths, wherever you are. On your next inhale, come meet me in down dog. On your exhale, 2 breaths here. And then on an inhale, right leg prepares. Exhale, low lunge. Walk your hands to the center of the mat. Feet turn out. Hands come on the hips. Come into goddess. All right, from here, how do I want to do this? Let's try this. This might be too Jane Fonda, aerobics, but we'll find out. Hands are going to come behind the head. Feel that spine. On an exhale, come over towards your right. I don't want you to come all the way down. Right, so we're controlling. So right, center. Left, center. Right. Brace it. Left. We'll go a little bit deeper in that squat. Right, so what happens if we reach left hand, right, palms together, come center, left arm, right, press, palms together. I don't like that one. All right, here's what we're going to do. Palms together, still in that squat, brace the belly, inhale, right arm opens, back to center to the left. So it looks like that. So you're basically opening doors, but you're controlling through the spine. Couple of breaths. Tone that core. Squeeze the palms, open. Squeeze the palms, open. One more, each side. Nice. Take a look at that. Well, that knee was going forward. Take a look at that right knee. Roll into the ball of the left, hands down, down dog. Pause. And then inhale, your left leg prepares. And as you exhale, left leg's going to come back into that low lunge. You're going to come back into the squat. How do I want to do this? Right here, right? But instead now you're going to straighten the legs. Turn the toes forward. Press into the outside of the foot. And then just come into a nice, gentle forward fold. So see if you can get your hands on the ground, right? Elbows bent, and then try to traction your head to the ground. Press into the outside of the feet. And then by pressing to the outside of the feet, I also want you to think about lifting the quadriceps or your thighs, so fire up the front of your legs. Couple breaths, hanging out, just getting a nice opening in that leg. One more good breath. Bend the knees, turn them out. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Inhale to a plank. Good boy, go through a flow. On an inhale, let your right leg prepare. Exhale, right leg steps in a low lunge, left knee comes down. Okay, and then I want you to take that right forearm onto the right thigh and come up here and see if you can grasp onto this back foot. All right, so I came off my thigh, and then I'm going to come back onto my thigh and see if I can get a little length. If this bugs your knee, you are going to roll your mat, put your knee down, okay? Grab the back of the left foot. Place your right forearm on the right thigh. Square the shoulders. Lift. Core. Go as deep as you want. This right arm of yours can lift. This is as good as I get. So hang on. You probably won't be here very long. Play with flexing and pointing the toes and see what feels best to you without a lot of dis-ease or discomfort. Keep the core solid. One more breath. Yeah. Exhale, slow release of that foot. Move the mat after you had it out and step to your down dog. Shake it up. Inhale, left leg prepares. Exhale, left leg steps in that yummy low lunge. Right knee down. Tops of the right toes. I like to start with my left hand on here. Then I eventually end up, left hand comes to the inside of my left thigh. I grab my right leg as best I can. Pat it if you need to. Left hand comes onto the left thigh. Feel free to back up as much as you need to. Pull the core in, right? And by hanging onto the back of the right foot, I can bend my elbows. Arm can come up, or I can stay down. Breathe. Go as deep as you want. It really is dependent on that front thigh length. Couple more breaths. Slowly release that hand. Foot comes down, palms come down. Inhale the plank, exhale, go through a flow. Alrighty, so for this next pose, you're going to want to come lengthwise onto your mat like this. All right, I'm going to show you, not from this angle. We're going to go to something called frog. For the love of me, I cannot remember the Sanskrit name. So you are going to start with your knees wide, toes together, and sit yourself back on your heels. If this is what works for you, great. Otherwise, I want you to see if you can line your knees up with your hips and then take the foot out so that my ankles are lining up with my knees. And then for some people, they can come down. For other people, toes in is beautiful. Let the belly actually rest. So here you are in your frog. So this is how I get bruises, but that's okay. So knees align with the hips, right? Hang out. So we're going to be here for a couple breaths. Do you feel like a frog? Two or three more breaths. On inhale, come up on the forearms, bend the knees so that the toes touch again. Take yourself back over your heels if you're not, and then bring the thighs together. Nice child's pose. Couple of breaths here. From your child's pose, what might feel really good, you're going to tuck your toes under, okay? And then let your hands either grab your heels, your ankles, and put your forehead on the ground. So it's kind of a weird little child's pose. Pull the shoulders together, round the back, right? And then start to roll onto the top of your head as you continue to hold on to the feet. Really round through that back. It's a nice gentle traction on the spine. Play with the sensation in the back, really keeping it nice and rounded. So you're tucking that tailbone. And at the same time, pulling forward, a couple of breaths. Exhale, release. Come back to your child's pose. Inhale, come all the way back up. Let's get a little bit of the lateral line stretched out before we hit any kind of shavasana. So I'd like you to lie on your back. Both knees are bent. Okay. Lift your left leg to the sky and interlace your hands behind the thigh. And then with the hips still on the ground, you're just going to take that thigh bone to the right. So I'm not lifting anything up. I'm just coming over to the right. My hips are neutral. And if I don't feel a lot of action on this outside of my leg, I'm going to take the top of the outside of this foot towards the ceiling. Okay, play with how close or how far away from you have this leg. And one thing that's really fun, take your hand and roll the thigh inward. So by rolling the thigh in and then taking it slightly across, you change the sensation. So try that. Take it back to neutral. Still on that fun angle. And then roll. So we rolled it in, so roll it out now. On that fun angle. And see what that feels like. Where do you feel it? Come back to neutral. Yep, still slightly over to the right. And then choose which one you want to stick with for about 5 breaths and hit it. So internally rotated, inside rotate, outside rotate, neutral, and pause. Wherever you are, come back to neutral. If you're not, bring that leg back to center. Release. Okay. Lift up the right leg, interlace. Fix your tights if you need to. Interlace the hand behind the thigh. This knee, left knee's bent because it's easier on the back. And then take that right leg to the left, only to the point you can without lifting the hip or changing the hip and spine from neutral. And just pause here. And remember, you can always take the outside of the foot to the sky if you want to, but relax, pause. Now, rotate that thigh inwards. So you're really turning the whole bone inward, and then continue to take it over to the left. Does it feel different? Is it a good different or a bad different? If it's a really bad different, get out of it right now. If it's well, it's weird, then just hang out with it for a little bit longer. Maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. Take it back to center. Okay, now turn it outward or externally rotate that leg, taking it slightly across the body. See what that brings. You stay here. Keeping that pelvis neutral. Come back so that thigh bone is neutral again and center, still switching over to the left. And then choose internal neutral or external rotation for about 5 breaths. Come back to center, release the legs. How are we doing on time? From here, bring your feet as wide as your mat. Okay, actually don't do that first. We're gonna come into a quick bridge. So your knees and ankles should line up as best as you can, and then imagine you're squeezing a balloon, right, between your thighs, but you're trying not to pop it. Place your hands either across your chest or your fingertips on the floor. Squeeze the glutes. And then pressing up to in the heels, come into that bridge. So really firing up those adductors again. Couple of breaths. Think about pulling the tailbone towards the heels and lifting the pubic bone towards the belly button. So you're not compressing the lower back, you're actually finding length in that lower back. Couple more breaths. Press into the heels. Now, round the back. See if you can get every vertebra to gently tap the floor as you roll down. Walk your feet as wide as your mat. Take both knees over to the left. Take this left ankle on the right thigh, only if it feels good. If it doesn't, just come into this twist. If you find this twist pinches the back, bring the knees a little closer together, a little higher up, and just enjoy the twist. Let everything start to relax. Inhale back to center. Feet as wide as the mat, back over to the right. Feel free to take this right ankle on top of the left thigh. Feel a nice long stretch. Otherwise, if this doesn't feel good, release the ankle. And remember, you can always bring the knees closer to the chest. Nice, easy, soft twist. Let that whole back soften and release. Slowly come back to neutral. Bring your knees to your chest, curl up. And then gently release, coming into your Shavasana. Finding a comfortable position, taking a few breaths to scan the body. Feel again for those areas of openness, tightness, both physically, emotionally, what's going on. Has anything changed? Don't judge, just check. Once you're done scanning the body, allow yourself to rest in Shavasana. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I will be back here at 7 tomorrow morning playing with Yin Yoga, and I'm not sure what organ we're going to play with. Thank you so much. Namaste.